And SABC athletics commentator as well as analyst Cuan to chat about the importance of this agreement. Cuan, welcome to the program. Let's chat right there. I mean, it's news that will allay a lot of fears from both athletes who, well, besides the fact that they want to see themselves on television, as you know, from free to air, but also allay a lot of fears, well, to South Africa as a whole in general, that the public broadcaster will bring you some of these events as mandated by the Broadcasting Act, basically.
Yes, most definitely, Tebiso. Thanks for having me on the show. As mentioned, Comrades is a worldwide institution. It's one of the most famous races in the world, as well as, the Cape Town Marathons. It's Africa's only gold label event, and Soweto Marathon, which is dubbed as a people's race. And just going back into the history of the races, we now having South Africans that are winning these races, the likes of Anne Ashworth, Bonguisa Mthembu, who's now a household name. So for the fact that SABC and the ASA have managed to come together and sort this out, it's wonderful, not only for the viewers that are at home wanting to see their loved ones or watch themselves finishing after they've run their races, but also to inspire more South Africans for the heroes like Bonguisa Mthembu is turning out to be.
In fact, that's where I want to go as well with regards to the gold label status that some of these events hold. The importance of that for South Africa being able to showcase them not only locally but to the world at large.
Yes, most definitely. Cape Town Marathon, it's a really iconic event in South Africa. It's growing in stature every year. And, there's 6 marathons around the world, which is known as the World Marathon Majors. And I really think that within the next 2 to 3 years, we could see Cape Town Marathon become one of those. And once it gets that stature as a World Marathon Major, then you start to see the likes of the Eliud Kipchoge's, the Edna Kiplagats, and those big athletes coming through. So for us to have a world-class, iconic event, in our back door, it's wonderful. And for the fact that SABC as well are broadcasting it live, it's amazing.
Now, Cuan, just to take us back to the Oceans, we saw it a couple of weeks ago, the interest as well in having South Africans, such as the one we have on our screens right now, going out there and winning these events. It also plays a major role in as far as, well, sponsors. And I always say athletics is the Cinderella sport of the country, but they deserve much, much more. And broadcasting such events goes a long way.
Most definitely, and not to take anything away from soccer and rugby and cricket, which has done a lot for our country, but as you mentioned, athletics is one of the Cinderella sports, and with the SABC managing to broadcast these live events, it not only does good for the sport in general, but it attracts more sponsorships, as well as the athletes that you see running on the screens. They all run for their personal teams. They've got a lot of sponsorships of their own, and if their events aren't being broadcast live, it not only affects the races, which affect everyone from the front of the field to the back, but also the elite athletes' pockets at the end of the day, because they need that exposure, and by not getting it, it's bad for them at the end of the day.
Cuan, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We'll be catching up a bit more, but later on, in fact, with the Comrades coming up, the Cape Town Marathon coming up, and Soweto Marathon, it would be interesting to have a chat with you with regards to that. Thank you very much. Cuan, in-house SABC cricket, or not cricket rather, but athletics analyst as well as commentator. Speaking of cricket,